Crypto Kids, this chart predicted every single Bitcoin cycle, including the bottoms, and I want to cover in full detail where it is that we are actually at. What are the signs that indicate buy? What are the signs that indicate precaution? I will tell you the time of which I see Bitcoin finding its low in 2026, what I'm doing from a trading and spot accumulation perspective, important patterns that I'm looking at for when I see a breakout. I'll be placing a $500,000 trade on Bitcoin. Will it be immediately? Will it be so fast? The hint is no. Watch until the end of today's video. It will likely be one of the most important refreshers that you would have watched in the month of July. We've discussed bits and pieces of this TA, but I don't believe never in one dedicated video. If you're lost in the Bitcoin cycle, if you feel lost in your Bitcoin journey, this video will aim to provide some clarity. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy daily updates, then make sure to destroy the like button and subscribe to become a crypto kid. With the first link in the description down below, we have an incredible gift to all of the crypto kids community running with BTCC. When you click the first link in the description down below and sign up with your email address and password only, within one business day after signing up, you will be receiving a whopping $1,000 position airdrop. I told you, it's not just the iPhone 17 Pro Max that they're trying to give away to the top 5 users with trading volume being the highest. No. There is even something crazier. If you sign up with the first link in the description, email address, password, in one business day, 100 USDT position with a 10x leverage, bringing the total value to $1,000 will be airdropped to everybody who signs up. It's a special celebration of BTCC's 15 years. Go ahead, claim that. All the profits you make will be yours to keep and withdraw. It's like beginning with a free $100 trade to go and test the waters. Thank you to our partner BTCC for offering it to the Crypto Kids community, and a very happy 11th birthday to Ethereum. All right, guys and girls, here it is. Here is the chart which predicted every single Bitcoin cycle. What do I mean with that? We operate in rotations of 4 years. You experience bull markets for a period of 1,064 days and exactly 364 days of a bear market. It wasn't an occurrence, one-time occurrence. No, the same pattern repeated in the cycle of 2019 into 2021. 1,064 days of upside coupled with a 364-day decrease from top to bottom. In the 2022 bear market to 2025 top, it was 1,064 days. And ladies and gentlemen, we are in day 294 of our bear market. This repetition gives me so much conviction to believe that the 364-day mark to end our existing bear, find the bottom, is quite mathematically likely. Where does that place the expected Bitcoin low? Well, it places it on the first week of October. We have 70 odd days left before Bitcoin concludes its bear market according to the chart which predicted it all. Meaning, will Bitcoin continue to fall then in that case? Well, here's my opinion. Even though this chart seems to be miraculous, charts and repetitions and patterns can break. As investors, as somebody who invests and trades, I need to be able to identify discounts and when it is already a good time to start accumulating according to the facts presented to me today, not via extrapolations in the future. For trading, it's a little bit different. So for this chart, I'm wearing my investor cap. Bitcoin is down 54% to the max from its all-time high. Currently, we're down 50% from the all-time high. Bitcoin is a product that didn't change a single bit from 126K to 64K. It's the same. Bitcoin is the same thing. It came out to solve the problem of financial discrimination and the lack of ownership of capital, a God-given human right. Bitcoin solves the same problem, just at a 50% discount. We are currently finding ourselves at the 200 daily moving average that provided the Bitcoin low in the bear of 2014-2015, provided the bear market low of the bear in 2019, and the COVID 2020 crash. Yes, we went beneath the 200 daily moving average in our last cycle, but if you bought anywhere around the 200 daily moving average or weekly moving average and held for 2 years and more, you would have made significant profits in your Bitcoin investment journey. Which is why, with the investor cap on, maybe when we look at statistics, it's not the exact perfect Bitcoin bottom. But I'm willing to go in and buy Bitcoin from the exchanges, send it to my self-custody wallets, and keep it and not sell for a minimum of 2 years. And I'm doing it here at the 200-week moving average. For leverage trading, it's different because your risk is much higher. In the 364 days, Bitcoin, when we look into the 2018 bear market, fell by 84%. It fell by 77% in the prior cycle. So far, we're only down 54% to the max. Gains are diminishing, so are the losses. But from 84 to 77 to 54, that 77 to 54 gap is too high when you look into the sequence. So can we expect a larger drop before that final ultimate low? That is likely. When we compare both the previous cycle and the current cycle, we are at that classical phase of a August-July rally, a summer rally, before experiencing your final capitulation going into Q4. When we bring on 2018 on board, so we look at all the 364-day drops, same story. It is the same exact story. Summer rally, coupled with a boring consolidation through after mid-August into September, October, then a Q4 drop. I believe Bitcoin will drop more. I am buying Bitcoin now just in case it doesn't and we break off our correlations. Unlikely in my opinion. I have a 2-year minimum mindset in my spot investing journey. But for my leveraged Bitcoin buying, which I will put $500,000 worth live with you here on the CryptoKid channel, I need to see some things happen first. I have to get a break above the trend line, which has been holding up since the entirety of our bear markets. 2022, once Bitcoin broke above that trend line, and even a bonus, retested it, this is where we pivoted into the bull market. So I want to see that same thing happen before I put in any significant quantity of buys. I will begin dollar cost averaging with very low leverage when we hit the time frame, the window of where Bitcoin finds its usual lows. So I'm referring to late September, beginning of October, and then jump into more margin and higher leverage as we break out the resistance line that kept the bear market intact so far. A speculative low prediction, or at least an amazing point for Bitcoin to identify its low, would be $49,000. It was the August 2024 Japanese yen carry trade crash wick, one of the worst crashes in my Bitcoin career. It was the high of the Bitcoin spot ETF launch, March 2022 retest before a 67% capitulation downwards. It was the support of the initial Bitcoin 2021 bull market highs. In general, fantastic amounts of volume, historically important support and resistance, and it would be a total of a 60% drop from the all-time high, which in our sequence of numbers seem more proportional. 49 would be amazing. It may not be it. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower than 49, but that will be regardless a fantastic opportunity to buy even more Bitcoin for myself. Final piece of evidence to back up the theory that things may not be so great until after Q4 or late Q4. The S&P 500 that Bitcoin is super coupled with, that is currently topping out based off of my analysis. Diamond top pattern, we're retesting support, trying to turn it into resistance. Let's see how this develops. We talked about it on our video 2 days ago and yesterday night. We're doing what 1996 to 2001 did on the S&P in our recent decade. It ends off with an S&P topping out slowly and then rolling over. Dot-com bubble produced one of the biggest recessions in the world. I don't think the same magnitude will occur for how the index is performing now, but can we get a reduction, a correction of 10, 15, 20%? I find it quite likely when we analyze the 1996 to 2001 price fractal on the S&P. If we look at the 3 past midterm years, just like the 3 or the 2 past midterm year analysis we've conducted on Bitcoin, the 3 past midterm years for the S&P after August, September experienced crashes into Q4. If the S&P falls, then it would further reduce Bitcoin on the price charts. And one more bonus thing to add, if I compare BTC USD with the S&P 500 and we pivot to the weekly time frame, in 2018, the S&P 500, after Bitcoin does the first high, the S&P does its high too, correct, but it later produces a second all-time high. That divergence puts both the index and the asset to lower levels in Q4. Bitcoin tops out first in every instance. Last cycle, Bitcoin tops first, then the S&P dumps. Bitcoin has topped out first. Now the S&P is trying to do that. And ultimately, I see pandemonium late this year. That sums up our update, Crypto Kids. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to destroy the like button and subscribe to become a Crypto Kid. I shall see you in our update Friday, 24 hours from now. Thank you, and as always, take care. Bye-bye.